What's going on YouTube? Tristan Farquhar here, back with another video, and today I want to ask you a question. Do you want to cause serious psychological trauma? I'm going to teach you a strategy better than sliced bread. Don't forget to subscribe or risk losing to Flying Pikachu. With that being said, let's get into today's video. I hope you enjoy. So before the battles begin, I want to give you a piece of advice, and it may sound completely counterintuitive, but it's to use things that are good, but slightly off meta. You can see there with the Heatmore, it's not a part of the Love Cups meta at all. It's not even a part of the Great Leagues meta, but I'm using it because a lot of people don't seem to know what moves it has or how long it really takes to get to those moves, because that's just something that happens when you are not experienced with fighting that particular Pokemon. Now, as we'll see here, what we want to do is use our shield there against the Electrode to start off. It shows that we're confident in using the shields up. We don't mind going down a shield. We know this matchup. We need to exude confidence in this battle. We force them into a shield. That could have been a power-up punch. They could not bait us. We could have baited them. And now we've made a completely unnecessary but yet very, very important sack swap there. We've positively absorbed all of their energy, which is a great start for us. Now we're on the front foot, and now they are beginning to think, hang on a second, I've wasted energy, and now I'm losing. That's beginning to play on their mind, which is exactly what we want. Even though it's a statistical advantage for us, having more energy, getting the not very effective move off, it's also going to be something very much psychological for the opponent. And that is the way you want to be thinking if you're really going to be grinding out those wins, even if you're at a disadvantage, technically speaking. We then take switch advantage. Now, you all know about switch advantage. It is a numerical advantage against the opposition that means you can pivot if you want to at the very end of your first Pokemon's existence on the field. But nowadays, it's getting to the point where a lot of trainers will be thinking to themselves, I've lost switch advantage, they've got such a big advantage, I've lost the game. That's just it. But as you see here, we've used two discharges when they were not necessary. They were not very effective. So maybe they believe that we don't have foul play. Bam! There it goes. All of that health gone. Possibly they would not have brought in that Solrock if they thought we had foul play. You can really take advantage of potentially less experienced players in this meta, particularly these cups, because no one is going to be extremely good at these cups. And that's just the way it goes. As you can see here, in comes this Seeking. Now we know why they brought in the Solrock, because they did not want to take an electric move on their Seeking, but it still begs the question of what if that had been something else? Would they have still come in with that Solrock? And as you'll see there, with the efficient power-up punch just to make sure we did not take extra damage, we do go ahead and take the win right there. So this next match that we're getting into now is a prime example of how you can mess with your opponent's mind to allow you to get extra wins. So we start with Scrafty, they start with Licky Licky. Already, we've got the only type being fighting that's super effective against his lead. He realizes he needs to switch out and makes an appalling swap into Crustle. Not as bad as Licky Licky, but still bad. Could be his team composition, however, it might well not be, and it might be a clear example of us just putting a little bit of pressure on him, shall we say. We know that he does not like to see our Scrafty, so whether we need to or not, we're going to go ahead and use that shield to protect against a low damage move with X-Scissor. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, this shows that we have an exact game plan that we are ready to carry out at all costs, even if it means we have to technically, in inverted commas, waste a shield. We're not, however, going to shield this one, because we know that if he comes in with the Licky Licky, the Body Slam that could potentially be coming off would indeed do more damage to us than that X-Scissor can. However, in comes a Fairy type and it's Clefable. Just before they're able to finish us off, we pull a swap. And what was I saying earlier? Heatmore is an off-meta pick, and there are people out there who don't quite realise maybe the extent of damage moves from these Pokemon that are off-meta can do. Let's just demonstrate this. Licky Licky is an extremely tanky Pokemon, particularly under 1500 CP. This is a Heatmor. It goes from full green almost to a tiny little smither of red health. Fantastic. We lose Heatmor, but that's absolutely no problem because they've only got a fairy left after this, and we're going to go ahead for that power-up punch. We've no need to farm down because, let's face it, Scrafty is not going to want to face off against Charm anyway. Go for this. Fantastic. Lag. Brilliant. So we're still winning, even though there is lag. We know their last Pokemon before they know ours, and that is also important. In comes the Electrode. All of the doubt is out of their mind. It's a 1 versus 1 ultimate battle. We try and tap past the extra charm, they get it in. That's a problem. That's a big problem. We go for this. There's not really much else to say. Just watch how this plays out. We've put so much pressure on them, they forget to shield. And with that being said, Tristan Farquhar out. See you later, guys.